Hello and happy day. How does slowing down sound to you today? Would you like to reduce the noise for just a bit? Are you ready to make a choice and decide to listen? My name is Igor S.F. Walker. I'm here to remind people to slow down, to reduce the noise, to walk their lives into a natural flow. Welcome back to the Book of the Week series. Every week as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. And today we look at Mind to Matter, the astonishing science of how our brain creates material reality by Dawson Church. Science has become the contemporary language of mysticism. The moment terminology related to religion, ancient traditions, secular cultures, or even New Age idealism is spoken in public, audiences become divided. Exploring quantum physics, electromagnetism, neuroscience, and neuroendocrinology, psychoneuroimmunology, and epigenetics, you will demystify the mystical. And in doing so, you will also uncover the mystery of the self and unravel the true nature of reality. Recent studies show that just an hour of focused concentration on any one subject doubles the number of connections in your brain related to that subject. And the same research tells us that if you do not repeat, review, or think about what you've learned, those circuits prune apart within just hours or days. Thus, if learning is making new synaptic connections, remembering is maintaining those connections. And when you can align your behaviors with your intentions, make your actions equal to your thoughts, or get your mind and body working together, you're going to have a new experience. That means the instant you feel freedom, abundance, gratitude, wholeness, or joy from that novel event, now you're teaching your body chemically to understand what your mind has intellectually understood. A human being is a part of the whole, called by us the universe, a part limited in time and space. He, she experiences self, his, her thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest. A kind of a optical delusion of his, her consciousness. When we begin to free ourselves from this prison, as Einstein phrased it, then we expand our consciousness to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature. Our consciousness interacts with the energy of the universe. You'll discover that you are a potent creator, that your thoughts lead to things. You'll learn how to use your mind deliberately as a creative tool to think nurturing thoughts. You'll understand how you can nudge material reality effortlessly towards your desires. You'll grasp just how powerful you really are and how capable you are of creating change by simply changing your mind. This isn't a comic book or a sci-fi movie. This is your life. Changing your brain is something you're doing every day. Now, it's time to direct the process deliberately in a way that improves your life. Just as you upgrade your operating system of your computer or a smartphone, you can upgrade your brain by changing your mind. Mind to matter. When the flow of information is from the outside in, you hold your consciousness hostage to the consciousness of the people producing the information. When the container of your mind is being filled with unhappy input, it is hard to maintain a happy state. When you allow others to fill your consciousness, you are at the mercy of their consciousness. The body cannot distinguish between an actual threat and a perceived threat. It has no way of knowing that the imaginary threat we are conjuring up in our minds using negative thinking is not an actual threat to our survival. Purely by thought alone, we can drive cortisol up and produce corrosive effects on our cells. See, there are 4 fundamental forces in physics: gravity, electromagnetism, the strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force. The strong force is what holds atoms together. The protons and neutrons inside of a nucleus of an atom. They contain huge amounts of energy, so the force required to hold them together is enormous, which is why it's called the strong force. It operates at very short distances between components of an atom. The weak nuclear force is the one that gives rise to radioactive decay. In this process, the nuclei of the atom break down because they do not have enough energy to hold together. The current scientific conception is that all biological communication occurs at a chemical molecular level through the action of neurochemicals fitting into specialized receptor cells, much like keys open certain doors. However, in the final analysis, the message is actually transmitted to the interior of the cell by a weak electrical signal. The sciences can be classified by the scale and type of their subjects. First come physics, which study the most fundamental levels of matter, such as atom and subatomic particles. Then comes chemistry, which looks at how those particles assemble themselves into molecules and interact with each other. Biology and other life sciences built on physics and chemistry to study living cells, tissues, and organisms. These interact in complex systems that are often unstable and evolving in unpredictable directions. Geology and astronomy also study solid physical matter. Geology, composition of the planet. Astrology scales up by a large order of magnitude to look at the material structure and motion of stars, galaxies, and the universe. Then come the soft sciences of the mind. Psychology examines individual behavior, while sociology studies the interaction of groups. Those in the hard sciences often feel superior to those in the soft sciences because they deal with the level of matter rather than that of a mind. When we come into personal coherence, we feel much better emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Our cortisol levels go down while the neurotransmitters serotonin and dopamine balance in our brains. We have high levels of the brain waves that promote healing and low levels of anxiety-linked high beta. We feel good subjectively, and this translates into objective changes in the biology of our cells. Mind becomes matter as our brains are flooded with pleasure-inducing endorphins, intimacy-producing oxytocin, and the bliss molecule, anandamide. We're also then resonant with the corresponding global frequencies. We aren't living our lives as separate from these, as resident nodes that are part of a greater universal whole. As we increase our personal coherence, we add our measure to the sum of coherence being generated by everyone else on the planet, resonating in synchrony with those energies. Imagine a ticket that says admit 1. You have to pay for this ticket. The price of admission is your suffering. You cannot get in if you hang on to even one atom of it. You have to give up absolutely every shred of suffering to purchase this ticket. You do that and you're in. The ticket only admits one person. You cannot take your loved ones in there with you. They have to make the choice to buy a ticket themselves. Each person has to give up his or her suffering to get in, and you can't let go of it for someone else. Use this gift called consciousness to constantly align yourself to the highest possible energy field at the start of every day. As you do this, you will feel a shift in your body. You will feel a physical sense of shifting to a new plane, of moving into an altered state, the physical sensation of being aligned with the universe of field, one with non-local mind is quite different from the physical experience generated by the illusion of being a separate local mind cut off from the love, the wisdom, the brilliance, the elevated perspective of the great non-local intelligence. Thus, in this space, you create for yourself every morning, at one with universe, the thoughts you think will be different. The actions you take will be different. The aspirations you have will completely be different. The expectations you hold will change. Please, do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Share too and spread the word. Subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. And the link to this book is in the description below, so buy it and read. Never stop learning. Thank you. Love and respect.